first click will turn the rider blue. The second one, if you double click, will turn it red. It will allow you to highlight 2 further riders on the circuit. You'll be able to see who you are following here today at Ellough Park. Still awaiting our pole position bike. So back of the field is already into position now. 35, rolling into position. Zach Weston came into the race weekend third in the championship, won the first instalment, which was yesterday. Some practice qualifying and some racing yesterday from Ellough Park. Majority though of which today qualifying and majority of racing today. Still over 10 races to go for you today here from the British Mini Bikes. The red light is on. Red light is off. We're away and racing. We've got one stationary right at the back. Hopefully we can get that bike going again and give some track time, but the rest of the field already round Degner 1 and going. Looks like the bike may be moving now. Let's see. We are away and we're back to a full complement of riders in the Ellough & Co Junior Supermoto 140 class. So just saw a move there just off camera with the green bike going right down the inside into the Hulme's hairpin. We're going to find out who that one is in due course. There's a static on the outside of Clinton's. This just gives an idea of just how much our riders are chopping across in terms of having to just change the bike direction as they come through round the long looping left of O'Rossi's, then into Clinton's. Leaders will then come through now over the start-finish line. Zach Weston leading the way. Harvey Lathrop, Daniel Stevenson, Toby Skaman, Teo Collymore, Usain Williams, Bobby King, Jack Newton, Harry Pell and George Bartle, the rider that had problems over the start-finish line. That's cost him around about 15 seconds. There he's going to come through now. Does indeed set quite a quick lap actually at 58 seconds. However, he did have to wait 15 seconds to get that lap started from the start. The red lights went out, the rest of the pack went going. Unfortunately, George Bartle was stood there and just watching the rest of the pack disappear down the Ellough Park tarmac. Zach Weston though, his opening lap 1 second quicker than anybody else. There he is, blasting through the screen. He's already over the start-finish line. Once again, he sets a 52.1, which is 2/10 quicker than anybody else. It was just that opening lap he managed to get away. Harvey Lathrop had to get past Daniel Stevenson on that one, on the opening lap, which he did down the inside with a very late move into the hairpin at Barney's. Can he now make inroads into a gap at the lead, which Zach Weston currently has, and it is opening up so far at a rate of around about 2/10 a lap. But Harvey Lathrop, who came into the race day as the championship leader, if anybody can close down that gap to Zach Weston, it will be the 222 machine of Harvey Lathrop. You'll see him very shortly on timing. They'll come through to start lap number 3 of this 8-lap Ellough & Co Junior Supermoto 140 race. King and Newton battle it out over 6th place. Newton behind, the slightly smaller rider in stature, behind Bobby King, 55, leading the way in that battle for 6th. Jack Newton behind in the pink and blue livery car, smatterings of the bike as well, and the smatterings of white as well, as they head down towards the right-hander of Shoemakers. In front of them, the 1-3-4 of Skaman. It's a very late move down the inside for Newton, as the door closed firmly then by King. Down the back straight with Newton electing not to go over the rumble strip, actually. Jerks the bike away from the tarmac rumble strip on the outside. May have compromised a bit of line as Skaman, King in front, actually uses all of the pit entry and more to try and maximise the line round the very tight hairpin down at Barney's. So they're going all the way out over the dotted white lines through around that pit area. Half race distance then in this junior Supermoto 140 race. Zach Weston managing to hold a fairly comfortable gap, which has been around about 1.8 seconds for the last couple of laps then from the current championship leader, Harvey Lathrop. Daniel Stevenson third, Teo Collymore fourth, Toby Skaman in fifth, Bobby King sixth, Jack Newton seventh, Isaiah Williams, Harry Pell and George Bartle, who had that issue at the start but is starting now to close in on the back of the pack. Rider of 21, you just saw him there in the background with the bright green, very difficult to miss him. See our race leader has enough time actually, if we're going round Shoemakers, to have a quick look to his right hand side to see where Harvey Lathrop is. The correct answer is 2.5 seconds down the road, which is almost about the length of that Shoemakers double right hand corner. With 2 laps remaining then, 2.5 as it stands, but there'll be 2 when they come over the timing line. This time round, riders setting lap times of around about 52 seconds. The only rider to dip under that, our race leader as it stands, with bike 35 of Zach Weston, coming through and continuing to push, only 2/10 off behind him. Harvey Lathrop goes a fraction quicker, but he's still only 2.3 seconds behind. So enough that Weston has to keep pushing. Not enough, however. Looks like we've got a rider down there off, and that's the 222. That is Lathrop. The championship leader is off and into the tyres at Shoemakers, continuing to push, trying to close up. Let's see whether he can get that bike going again. Looked like he had a bit of a problem. Going to give it a good little kickstart there for the 222, but the championship points are slipping away for the 222 of Harvey Lathrop. The bike getting pushed away. Let's see whether the helper can get that bike started. Looks like he might have damaged the kickstart whilst he came off there on the right-hander. And the rider that was in second place, trying to close down that gap to Zach Weston, had set a faster lap on the previous lap, does himself finally get going, but he is all the way down the field now. I think he could be in front of George Bartle, so he could be down in 9th. We will get confirmation. The last lap board is out for our leaders, and Zach Weston now has a gap of 15 seconds rather than a gap of 2 back to anybody else. So Weston then already on the intermediate straight, heading down towards O'Rossi, and then Clinton's. He's got half a lap. The gap 15 seconds after the unfortunate fall for Harvey Lathrop. He's come over the line in 7th place, in fact. In fact, he hasn't yet. Osiah and Pell, so Osiah Thomas and Pell will come through in 7th and 8th. He does finally come over. You are watching on live.alphatiming.co.uk. BMB riders go yellow as they come over. The checkered flag is out though. Zach Weston stands up on the pegs, gives the bike a nice little bounce over the start-finish line, pops a little wheelie down the straight towards Shoemakers. I'm not sure whether he knows how comfortable that one was towards the end. I think last time we saw him looking over his shoulder. Harvey Lathrop was there. The next thing we know, Lathrop was off on the outside of the double apex right, trying to close that gap down. Stevenson comes over the line for second place. Teo Collymore will get third in race 3. Jack Newton gets past Bobby King on the final lap, sets his fastest lap of the race in the process. Toby Skaman will take Stickby away. Osiah Thomas and Harry Pell, who's not much between them on the previous lap. Thomas comes through with Lathrop getting past Harry Pell on the final lap, recovering back up into 8th place, with Pell taking 9th. George Bartle, who had those issues at the start of the race, crosses the line in 10th.